For years, the internet loved watching impossible car rebuilds. Crashed supercars, destroyed hypercars, machines that most people would never even touch in real life. And in the middle of that world, one name exploded faster than almost anyone expected: Mat Armstrong. At first, people saw him as a guy who could save dead cars. Ferraris nobody wanted. Lamborghini's insurance companies gave up on. And even hypercars so damaged that experts said they should never return to the road again. But then something happened that changed everything. The rebuilds became bigger. The risks became higher. And the internet stopped asking, can you fix it? Instead, people started asking, should he even be doing this? What began as entertainment slowly turned into one of the biggest debates in car culture online. Because when you start rebuilding machines worth millions of dollars, every mistake becomes global news. And no project created more chaos than the Bugatti story. When Mat Armstrong got his hands on a wrecked Bugatti Chiron, the internet went insane. Not because the car was damaged, but because most people believed it was impossible to repair outside the factory. This wasn't a normal supercar. This was a Bugatti, a machine engineered so precisely that even tiny repairs can cost more than luxury homes. A car surrounded by mystery, exclusivity, and rules most people never even hear about. And suddenly, one YouTuber was taking it apart inside a garage. Millions clicked instantly. At first, viewers were excited. Watching broken carbon fiber get rebuilt felt like watching someone perform surgery on a spaceship. Every episode pulled more people in. Views exploded. Clips spread across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. But the bigger the project became, the more pressure started building behind the scenes. People in the automotive world began questioning everything. Could the car ever be truly safe again? Were shortcuts being taken? Was this real engineering or content designed only for views? Then came the parts drama. Reports and online discussions exploded after people learned how difficult it was to get official Bugatti components. Prices sounded unbelievable. Wait times sounded insane. And suddenly the internet split into two sides. One side saw Mat Armstrong as a hero fighting impossible odds. The other side believed hypercars like these should only be repaired by factory-authorized experts. The arguments became brutal. Comment sections turned into battle zones. Some viewers defended him like a legend. Others accused him of turning rare cars into social media experiments. And the more controversy grew, the more people watched. Because internet culture loves conflict almost as much as it loves success. Then things became even crazier. Clips started spreading with dramatic titles. Bugatti refused to help. They said it could never be fixed. He rebuilt what million-dollar companies wouldn't touch. Every upload felt bigger than the last. Even people who knew nothing about cars started hearing the name Mat Armstrong. And that's when the drama escaped car culture completely. Reaction channels talked about it. Podcasts debated it. Car forums exploded with arguments lasting thousands of comments long. Suddenly, this wasn't just about a repair anymore. It became a symbol of something bigger. Independent creators versus giant companies. Passion versus rules. The internet versus tradition. And honestly, that's why the story became so massive. Because people weren't only watching a car rebuild. They were watching someone challenge a system that looked untouchable. Some viewers loved that. Others hated it. But nobody ignored it. Even critics secretly kept watching to see what would happen next. Would the rebuild fail publicly? Would the car ever drive properly again? Would the project collapse under pressure? Every episode felt like a cliffhanger. And the tension only grew when experts began reacting online. Some engineers praised the determination. Others warned that modern hypercars are too complex for improvised repairs. A few people even claimed projects like this could encourage dangerous copycats trying to rebuild wrecked exotic cars without proper knowledge. That's when the debate became serious. Because now it wasn't just entertainment. People started discussing responsibility. And on the internet, once a debate becomes emotional, it spreads faster than wildfire. Memes appeared everywhere. Fans called him fearless. Critics called the rebuild reckless. Supporters said he was proving corporations wrong. Opponents said he was risking millions for clicks. And through all of it, the views kept climbing. That's the part most people never understand about internet drama. The more divided people become, the more powerful the story gets. Every angry comment pushes the algorithm harder. Every argument creates more curiosity. Every reaction video creates another wave, and suddenly one garage project becomes global entertainment. By this point, the story had become bigger than the car itself. It became about reputation, about proving doubters wrong, about surviving public pressure while millions watched every move. And whether people supported Mat Armstrong or not, almost everyone agreed on one thing. Very few creators would even dare to attempt something this risky in public, because failure would be humiliating. Imagine spending months rebuilding one of the world's most famous hypercars, only for the internet to watch it collapse. That pressure alone would destroy most people. But somehow, the project kept moving forward, and every new upload created another explosion online. Some people compared the drama to reality TV. Others said it felt like watching a live documentary about obsession, because deep down, viewers weren't only interested in the car, they were interested in the risk, the possibility of total disaster, the idea that one wrong move could ruin everything. That tension kept millions watching until the very end. And maybe that's why the story became impossible to ignore. Not because of the Bugatti, not because of the money, but because the internet is addicted to watching people attempt the impossible, especially when the whole world expects them to fail. In the end, whether you see Mat Armstrong as a genius, a risk-taker, or simply one of the smartest creators in automotive media, one thing is undeniable. He turned a damaged hypercar into one of the biggest online automotive dramas the internet has ever seen. And honestly, but here's the part most people never saw. The pressure wasn't only coming from viewers. It was coming from the entire luxury car world watching silently from the background. Because companies like Bugatti don't just sell cars. They sell perfection. Every detail is controlled. Every repair follows strict procedures. Every component is engineered to insane standards. These machines are treated less like normal vehicles and more like rolling pieces of art. So when a public rebuild starts exposing how difficult and expensive those systems can become, people notice. And that's exactly why the internet became obsessed. Viewers started realizing something shocking. Owning a hypercar is one thing. Repairing one is an entirely different universe. Some parts reportedly cost more than entire sports cars. Certain repairs required tools most mechanics would never even see in their lives. Even transporting components became complicated, and suddenly millions of normal viewers were getting a behind-the-scenes look at a world usually hidden from the public. That mystery made the drama even bigger, because luxury brands survive on exclusivity, but YouTube survives on transparency. And when those two worlds collide, chaos follows. The rebuild videos start feeling less like normal content and more like a battle against impossible odds. Every new problem created another wave of tension. Bolts that wouldn't fit, systems refusing to communicate, electronic errors appearing out of nowhere, carbon fiber complications, missing components, unexpected costs. At times, the project looked completely cursed, and the audience loved every second of it. Not because they wanted failure, but because real struggle feels more authentic than perfection. That's something modern internet culture understands very well. People connect more with problems than polished success. Watching someone overcome impossible setbacks creates emotional investment. Viewers begin feeling like they're part of the journey themselves. And that emotional connection is powerful, especially in automotive content, because car culture has always respected one thing above everything else: persistence. The refusal to quit, even when the situation looks hopeless. That's why supporters defended Mat Armstrong so aggressively online. To them, this wasn't just a content creator rebuilding a car. It represented something bigger. An outsider entering a world usually controlled by giant manufacturers and elite specialists. A normal garage taking on a machine worth millions. A creator refusing to accept impossible as an answer. And the internet loves underdog stories. But at the exact same time, criticism kept growing louder. Some professionals argue that projects like these can create unrealistic expectations. They warn viewers not to underestimate how dangerous high-performance vehicles can become if improperly repaired. Others believe these rebuilds blurred the line between engineering and entertainment, because when millions of people are watching, there's pressure to make every episode dramatic. Every delay feels dangerous for views. Every setback becomes content. And that creates a strange environment where real mechanical work exists side by side with internet storytelling. That tension became part of the drama itself. People weren't only debating the rebuild anymore. They were debating YouTube culture. Has entertainment become more important than expertise? Can creators replace traditional industries? Should companies open access more freely? Or are some machines simply too advanced for public experimentation? Those arguments spread everywhere. Forums, reaction videos, TikTok clips, live stream debates. Even people completely outside car culture started hearing about the situation. And once mainstream attention arrives, internet drama transforms into spectacle. That's when headlines became even more exaggerated. Some fans treated every upload like a movie release. Others predicted disaster constantly. The internet became emotionally divided between wanting success and secretly waiting for failure. Because controversy creates obsession, and obsession creates massive audiences. At one point, every small update triggered thousands of reactions instantly. A new sound from the engine, a dashboard warning light, a missing part, a repair attempt. Everything became news. That level of attention can become dangerous mentally. Imagine try to solve mechanical problems while millions judge every decision in real time. One mistake becomes viral. One delay becomes criticism. One failure becomes memes across the internet. Most people could never handle that pressure publicly. But somehow the rebuild continued anyway. And that persistence changed how many viewers saw the entire project. Even critics admitted one thing. Very few creators would risk their reputation this hard. Because if the rebuild failed completely, the internet would never forget it. That's the brutal reality of online fame. Success makes you popular, but failure becomes permanent, especially when algorithms amplify every disaster instantly. And maybe that's why this story became so addictive to